2030 is actually not too far out, right? So right now it's 2022, so that's maybe 7.5 and 8 years. I think where humans still will be, superior is all things reasoning and making sense of stuff. But what and artificial intelligence, and if I say artificial intelligence, I mean a different set of technologies or algorithms. So what it will be able to do in the future is to assist with decision-making processes. In that, you get more evidence to it, you get more data, but maybe you could also, help prioritizing or assessing certain factors, influencing factors, and just bringing more evidence to the table. So still, I hope that the humans will take the decisions by 2030. Never say never, but I hope this will be the case. Because I think it can get very dangerous if humans will start to rely all of their decisions, like 100% of their decisions, to an artificially intelligent system, because it takes away responsibility and ownership from the human side. So that I think is not a good idea, but pushing and making sure it's helping with assessment, with more evidence, with connecting the dots on the data side, that might be a good thing to expect by 2030. Yeah. It probably is that it's going to be assisting humans in the before mentioned decision-making processes. So the thing is, with all the data and all the information you get today, things are getting more and more complex. You need to consider more things, you need to look at more stuff, you need to sense more emerging trends and technologies and all that stuff. And this can get quite complex for humans to decide, do I go left, do I go right? So I guess it's actually very promising and maybe even exciting to say, well, now we have a better way of deciding critical stuff, like big questions or small questions, placing bets, placing investments. But again, as mentioned before, it should not be relying 100% of the external thing. The human factor will be needed. But it's exciting that I can get more evidence and a clearer picture of the complexity out there. And I guess that's one of the basic added values you could get from this. Yeah, so one of the most pressing challenges still is data accessibility. So where to get the data from. There is, of course, data that's freely available, so you don't have to pay anything for it. And there is also closed data sources. But it's interesting that, we have 2022 and soon 2023, that still data accessibility is a problem. And the next problem that will come right after this is actually making sure it's interconnected in a way that makes sense. Because of course you can sit on a pile of data, but what to do with it, right? So it's data access for now, then we'll be connecting the dots. So first collecting the dots, then connecting the dots, which is like imminent and happening on the horizon pretty soon, I'd say. You could always paint this dystopian scenarios like, if you don't use AI, you're going to be bust. I don't believe in such, extreme scenarios along the way. Certainly everything around data literacy. So, being able to actually understand data and work with the information created by the data is a critical business capabilities. Organizations are investing a lot into this these days, and they keep on investing even more, bringing data scientists in, having training programs and then maybe workshops to work with that. So data literacy is an important point. And if organizations don't employ, for example, artificial intelligence techniques, maybe they lose some, speed and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that this will not be a boom or a doom or dust scenario in that case. But they rather might be just, behind other competitors that might do things faster, more precise, with higher accuracy, but it will certainly not put them out of business. So I guess one of the most important insights is that things move slower than some people expect, right? So some of the topics we discussed today are very visionary, Like, how could things be in 5 years, in 7 years, in 10 years from now? But when we're discussing the state of art of a specific technology, like in that case, artificial intelligence, it's interesting to see that, you'd wish things move faster, but in reality they don't. So in order to make sure you can get the most out of it, and organizations can get the most out of it, the recommendation would be to remove some of the buzzword bullshit bingo behind this and really get to the essential core of stuff. Like, why are we using it? What does it make better? How does it improve, an organization's ability to get new products on the market, or to be better prepared for the future, to understand what competitors are doing? But you don't have to use the term AI for this, because it's about the business outcome. It's about something that you create or make better, but you don't apply AI for the sake of applying AI, right? So that's the thing. And that's what we see today a lot. That's great. People are, chiming into this and say, well, actually, I don't care if it's artificial intelligence or something entirely different. I'm interested in the business outcome that's to be made. And that's like agreed by everybody today, which I think is a great step forward in the community, in the Foresight community, and very narrowly also in this community that talks about how to apply AI to Foresight.